It's breakfast time, 6:30. Good morning, it's 8 o'clock and you're watching Breakfast Time. This is the first edition of Britain's first breakfast television programme. We've now been on the air since 6:30 and we'll be here for another 1 hour with features, guests and local news, weather and traffic information from your own regional studios.
Clever clogs. Who got last week's competition jig word?
Holiday ideas for the holiday maker from Wish You Were Here tops the lineup for Monday night entertainment here on Central. On Tuesday night at 9, we begin a new series called The Hard Word, where emptiness and desolation face two families who thought they had everything.
I think if we're going to live together, we better get to know each other. Don't you? Over lunch, perhaps? Chat you up over lunch?
What about the kids?
As a matter of fact, I said we'll be having lunch out to celebrate the promotion. Where did you work before you came here?
A firm in Rochdale. Machine tools. They went bust.
As of today, this company has reluctantly ceased to be your employer.
That old man were right. We should have never left the yard. The plant had done this all along.
What?
They've given me the hard word. I'm unemployed again.
That's a new series. The Hard Word starts this Tuesday at 9 o'clock. And there's another new series starting tonight at 11:25. Music International presents. But now it's time to join ITN for the news.
Teachers may like to know that Thomas Nelson have published a series of 4 pupils' books based on good health that provide a complete course in junior school health education.
Good evening from 21 Live, where we're celebrating LWT's 21st anniversary throughout the weekend. Now, coming up next is an episode of the detective series that was so popular in 1981 that its star, Maggie Forbes, was voted ITV's most compulsive female character. Maggie, of course, had the gentle touch, and we've tracked down the actress who created that role, but at the moment she's taking an interval break in her dressing room at the Bristol Hippodrome, where she's playing Marmee in Little Women. So it's a very big welcome to Jill Gascoigne. Hello. A wonderful piece of lace curtaining on your head at the minute, Jill.
That's good. It's lace doily. That's
a lace doily. It looks good there. When you first read the role of Maggie Forbes, did you immediately like her as a character?
Yes, I did, immediately. I liked the fact that she was a single mother, how assertive she was, that the programme itself depicted her professional life as well as her private life, which I thought was very interesting. And it's the first time it had happened on television, and I like that.
Are you as assertive as that in real life?
Oh, no, I wish I was. I wish I was. I allowed it all to come out when I was doing it, you know. I think I'm just as bossy. I've been told I'm just as bossy, but not quite as assertive as she is.
You were terribly convincing in the role, though, as a policewoman. How did the real police and policewomen react when they met you?
Well, they used to quite take the mickey out of me quite a lot. I can remember once in Swallow Street in London, there was a whole van load of policemen went past when I was walking down, and they all jumped out of the back. And as I walked past, they all saluted me and said, "Good evening, ma'am." It was wonderful. I quite liked that.
She was also terribly glamorous. Did you ever get criticised for making her just quite so glamorous?
Yes, but it was absolutely truthful, that. It was based on a real lady that I met, a real lady detective, who was even more glamorous than I was. And so it was quite and absolutely truthful. Anyway, I think they've all got a damn cheek to presume that police women aren't glamorous. How dare they? Some of them are very glamorous.
Absolutely right, Jill. Well said. Well, thank you ever so much for joining us from Bristol, and good luck with the show.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's getting terribly nostalgic here in 21 Live, so we're just going to settle back and enjoy Jill Gascoigne once more as Maggie Forbes in The Gentle Touch.
Yep, I got that. Carry on. How many? Right. And hang on. Shan't be a minute, mate. All right. Right. Now, where were we? 2,000?
010-659-659. I mean, what is all this?
Well, it's a telephone number.
Well,
it was dialed at 10:30.
Well, why should that be of interest to me? Or to you?
Well, it's a number in Singapore.
Very well, it's a number in Singapore.
Well, there are other numbers on that piece of paper. So, look, there's one in Bombay, one in Dhaka, 2 in Hong Kong, and all those numbers have been dialed this week.
Mrs. Young, you are not employed to eavesdrop. You're employed to provide a service for the staff and undergraduates of this college. I mean, this is not the Ministry of Defence.
Well, what about the Corsair, all those Far Eastern
I'm not
calls?
interested, Mrs. Young. It's not my business, and it's not your business.
Do you know how much those calls cost?
I'm the bursar, not you.
Well, I thought you'd want to know.
And now you have told me. Thank you very much.
But...
Good evening, Mrs. Young.
Oh. Look. Well, it's robbery. It's theft.
Hello, good morning. It's 6 o'clock on Wednesday, the 2nd of February, and this is Daybreak.
Good morning, Britain. I'm glad you could join us for our second day, and I just hope that you enjoy this programme as much as we enjoyed yesterday's.
and you.
Lots and lots
For you to do,
lots and lots
for you to see. Me and you and me. Do, 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 do.
Pearl Harbor, Hawaii.
six for gold, seven's a secret never told. Walking in the countryside, you might be lucky to see magpies flying all around or nesting in a tree. They tell the future if the story's true. So go and count them carefully, find what will happen to you. 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl and 4 for a boy, 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7's a secret never told. Shop, in the street, at the stop, after school, at the fair, at the pool. Everywhere we got lots of things to talk about, so much to say. What do you think we'll talk about today? Talk about.
Words and pictures. Words and pictures.
Music
is played in the music garden. Basic math.
Ride fast, ride round, glaring light, glaring sound. What is in the crystal ball? Will the fairground rise or fall? Ride high, ride fast, touch the sky rushing past. Remember as you whirl around, fortunes can be lost and found. Fair's fair on the fairground. Fair's fair on the fairground.
The story so far.
Think big, big, big at the beginning. Put a capital first and you're winning. Think big. Think big. Think big.
Do you want an answer? Are you in the dark? When you ask a question, use a question mark. Question mark. Question mark. Question mark.
Are you in the dark?
When you ask a question, use a question mark.
Here's a word you'd like to know. Break it up in bits like so. Sound them out one after the other. Oh. Now squeeze them back together. Well.
Walk up, walk up. It's the big event in the NT tent. You'll wonder where your money went. It's the big event in the NT tent. You want to wish, NNT will grant it. You want a bush, NNT will plant it. You want some cash, NNT will count it. Walk up, walk up. It's the big event in the NT tent. Walk up, walk up. Come on, everybody, walk up.
love to go to school, you know, and play with all me mates. I get a smashing feeling as I walk in through the gates. I go into the classroom and there's a sudden hush. Then all the kids jump up and shout, let's read with Basil Brush. Let's read with Basil Brush. Boom, boom, way!
Moonies are back on Children's ITV on Monday, but now it's all aboard the Animal Express. I just found this lying around. Tee-hee. Do you like it?
Welcome aboard the Animal Express.
In half an hour, Grange Hill, but now on BBC One, Jubilee, a special celebration of 60 years of BBC children's programmes.
Now we begin a new series which follows the adventures of 3 ex-Grange Hillites as they find out about life after school. Tucker's Luck.
I'm going now, Peter. I'll be back at 12.
You can see the second part of the adventure of the disappearing dispatch case in 25 minutes when the Baker Street Boys go into action. Before that, Finders Keepers, introduced by Richard Stilgo.
Finders Keepers, keepers. Finders Keepers, keepers. Finders Keepers. Finders Keepers, Finders Keepers. Finders
Yes, indeed, serving 6 million viewers. This is Yorkshire Television. The time is 1 o'clock.
This is the news at 1 from ITN with Alistair Stewart.
Hello.
Good morning. This is BBC One. Programmes for schools and colleges begin in a couple of minutes with biology. The time now is 9:20, and the next programme this morning is Better Badminton, and it follows at 9:25. Well, the time now is almost 9:20, and Better Badminton, our next programme, begins at 9:25.
Now the time's coming up towards 9:20. Our next programme this morning is Better Badminton, and it begins at 9:25.
Good morning from BBC One. Programmes for schools and colleges begin in 2 minutes with biology, food and population. Our next programme for schools and colleges is...
Play Tennis is the next programme for schools and colleges, and that begins in 5 minutes at 9:25.
The world we live in may seem confusing, full of conflict, of people.
When you are a woman, I'm your man. Show me you're a woman, 'cause a woman is the kind of that
Good morning, this is BBC One. Programmes for schools and colleges begin in 2 minutes with biology. Well, it's just after 19.5 minutes past 9, and the next programme, Play Tennis Part 5, follows at 9:25.
Details of all radio and television programs are in the new edition of Radio Times, which looks like this, and it isn't available in outer space.
We continue our Thursday evening on BBC One now with David Attenborough testing the waters of the open ocean in the penultimate episode of The Living Planet.
I was so lonely.
On BBC Two in 20 minutes, the food and drink programme reports from Périgord in southwest France on the much hunted and increasingly scarce black truffle. Here on BBC One, a programme postponed from last Thursday, as David Attenborough presents the final part of The Living Planet.
Next Thursday at 7:55 on BBC One. If you've ever wondered how they filmed it, watch next Thursday.
On BBC Two in a few moments, comedy and song with the colourful Mike Harding in Belfast. And here on One in 25 minutes, part 2 of Missing from Home. Now the 9 o'clock news with John Humphreys.
Celebrating victory for Mr. Scargill. No to a national ballot, yes to a delegates meeting. And the miners who want to work on.
Because most people in this area, they won't be bullied by pickets from Yorkshire.
Murder in Belfast, a bomb kills 2. Ian Botham cleared by a drugs inquiry. And why this little girl is a good citizen. Good evening. There's to be no national...
On BBC Two now, there's a visit to a flint mine, a gold mine and a wooden windmill, in the first in a new series showing the past at work. Here on One now, David Attenborough presents the 4th part of Life on Earth.
In 3 weeks' time, there's the start of a new Tuesday evening series of musical entertainments entitled Contrasts. It features singers and musicians from the Northwest, such as singer-pianist Jackie Scott, who appeared recently in the Song for Europe contest. And there's Bernie Flint, the popular singer-guitarist. The backings and instrumental numbers will be provided by keyboards wizard Richie Close and his musicians. So that's Contrasts beginning at 7:05 on Tuesday, April the 22nd, here on BBC One. In 55 minutes on One, that man of many mishaps, Ken Archer, pays a visit to his bank and finds himself enmeshed in an incident of high drama. Mark Kingston is Ken Archer in Time of My Life at 8:30 this evening. On BBC Two now, the second in the series of reflections on the Stations of the Cross, filmed in the Via Dolorosa in Jerusalem, outside a city wall. Here on BBC One, David Attenborough continues his natural history of life on Earth. Subtitles for the hard of hearing can be found on CFAX page 170.
And that first final, the piano class, can be seen tomorrow evening on BBC One at the slightly earlier time, 6:50. On BBC Two in a moment, the fourth of 8 films looking at the past at work recalls the great cottage industry of Britain, weaving, seen now in the light of the Industrial Revolution. Here on BBC One, in Life on Earth, David Attenborough continues his natural history of the world and its inhabitants with the evolution of the reptile, victors of the dry land.
Fill out your pants.
Taxi, a new series beginning at 8:05 this Thursday on BBC One.
On BBC Two now, in Writers and Places, Robert Robinson talks to the controversial Pulitzer Prize-winning author William Styron. Here on BBC One, comedy with Ken Archer plotting desperate measures in an attempt to get his wife back in Time of My Life.
There are some things very difficult to say.
Take one dark night in November, add one adult, a tin box with a lid, and a torch. Mix in a liberal sprinkling of children of various ages and place a few handfuls of well-chosen fireworks all together in the box. Then take out the fireworks one at a time, close the box, and read the instructions carefully using the torch. Light the firework at arm's length, preferably with a safety lighter, and then stand well back and wait. And wait. And wait. Never be tempted to return to examine a dud. It might not be. Add a little sparkle for good measure, and what have you got? The perfect recipe for a safe and happy Guy Fawkes night. It's called the Firework Code, and it's yours free whenever you buy fireworks. Remember, on the 5th of November, follow the Firework Code.
These children are cleaning out their class pets. The budgerigars need clean sand in the bottom of their cage. The rabbit needs a clean bed of hay in his cage. So does Pop, the guinea pig.
Wait a minute. His skin looks a bit funny, doesn't it, today? Look, you see, his fur's dropping out. You'd best take him to the vet, don't you?
Every morning and evening, animals are brought to the vet's clinic. Each animal has a card showing what treatment the vet has given on its last visit.
Morning. We're from Bromston Kids School. We rang up. Oh, yes, I've got the card. Would you like to take a seat in the waiting room?
They go into the waiting room. They'll wait there until it's their turn to see the vet. He's noisy, isn't he? But most of the animals sit quietly with their owners. When it's your turn to see the vet, you go into a special room. That's the vet.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
There's a high table for the animals to stand on.
Hello, Tiny.
The vet is an animal doctor. He examines the animals to find out what's wrong with them. He's going to give the dog an injection.
Right, hold on. Now, this is liable to make you feel off colour just for 24 hours if you tell the owners.
Right, I'll do that.
There you are, darling.
Thank you.
Not too bad, eh? There you are.
Thank you.
Here's another patient arriving. Its owner has brought it to the surgery in a bag. I wonder what it is.
Wakey.
Goodness, it's a snake. Look how long its body is. This snake is a python.
This one weighs about 3 stone now, so after a bit you get a rather sore neck.
I wonder what's wrong with this dog.
She's very stiff, isn't she? She's got arthritis. I'll put some tablets up for you.
Yeah.
And you can collect those later on at the desk.
The vet has a nurse who helps him with the animals.
Linda, could you put me 24 Brufen tablets up for Charlie Girl? One twice a day after meals. Okay, thank you.
It's the children's turn next.
Hello, children. Hello. What's the matter with the budgies?
They want their claws kicking.
If we can catch it. There you are. Let's have a look at you.
The vet holds the bird firmly so that he can clip its claws. It's just like having your nails cut.
It's a lot better, isn't it, eh? So bring him back in about a month and we'll just check that they haven't grown too long again, okay? Oh, guinea pig.
Now it's Pop's turn.
He's scratching a lot and his fur's coming out.
Right, let's have a look at him for you. Can you help me? Can you just hold him there? That's it. Yes, he's got a thing called mange.
Mange is a skin disease.
Let's have a look at his tummy.
It makes Pop scratch till his fur falls out. The vet will tell them how to make it better.
So I'll get a shampoo for you, and I'll put all the instructions on. You'll have to do it at school. Linda, would you get me a shampoo for the guinea pig? Put it into a gallon of water and bathe the guinea pig in it. Thank you.
I'll collect it up.
The snake has come to the vet because it's burned its skin.
First of all, we'll clean it up, and then I'll give you some cream to put onto it. Hello. Whereabouts is it? It's marvellous when you can turn around and look at your own body, isn't it?
The vet shows the owners what to do.
You'll have to do this. I'll give you a bottle of stuff to do it. The cream, which is this, you put on 3 or 4 times a day if you could.
All right. Do you think it'll ever grow back as normal?
No. It's like if you had a burn, it forms a scar. It'll stay the same because
stay the same?
scars don't grow, they just stay the same. But
So she'll just get bigger and it'll look smaller?
It'll look small all the time. How's that for you, eh?
Some animals stay at the vet's for a few days to be made well. There's a cat with a broken leg.
This one's had a plaster on, so that's to stay in to have a calcium injection.
Right
And this one hasn't been eating. Has it eaten anything at all?
He ate last night, but didn't seem to want its breakfast this morning.
This one's probably be able to go home today if its eyes are a lot better. Let's have a look.
This cat had a sore eye. The vet's cured it.
Oh, it's a lot better now, isn't it?
Yes.
And open its eyes again. Right, that can go home now. It's got to have some chloramphenicol tablets and some
Oh,
ointment.
that's fine, thank you.
Now, there's this pigeon. Has it been eating?
Yes, it has.
Good, let's have a look at it.
The pigeon's astray. Someone found it.
It's putting a lot of weight back on, but I don't think it's ready to fly away yet.
No.
I wonder where it's got to get home to. We'll keep it in a few more days.
Some animals can't be brought to the clinic, so the vet visits them at home.
Such as the diarrhea during the night.
Here's a litter of puppies. They're all brothers and sisters. One of them has an upset tummy.
Is that a bit sore? Right, just hold on to him. We'll take his temperature.
The vet takes its temperature. He puts the thermometer under its tail.
This won't hurt. Yes, got a slight temperature.
Now he's going to give it an injection of medicine. He uses a syringe to give the injection.
This won't hurt at all. There you are, that'll make you better.
Not all the vet's patients are so easy to treat.
Your pedicure.
Billy the goat is very strong.
Now, Debbie, if you could just hold him here for me. Something like this. Just hold him like that. Oh, come on, Bill. It's not as bad as all that. Come on.
It's hard work trying to clip the goat's hoof.
Now, if you hold his head like that, it's almost off.
In the end, it takes 3 people to hold the goat.
Please, if you could. If you'd like just to steady him so he doesn't back away from us. And if you put your hand round here, let me show you, Debbie. Hold him to you. And if you just stop him going backwards, and hopefully we'll be able to finish it off.
Yes.
Oh, that's better, isn't it?
There we are.
Back at school, the teacher's doing just what the vet told her to do.
I think he likes the smell of it.
We haven't got it on his nose, though, because it might go in his eyes. Are you ready with the towel?
Yes.
All right, let's dry you now, Bob. Oh, wasn't he good? Wasn't it? I think he knows it's going to make him better. There we are. There we are. Right, you stay on there and you get nice and dry then, won't you? Right. There we are. It's finished.
and there'll be a light to moderate northeasterly breeze.
This is BBC Two. And now it's time to open up the geography casebook on Britain to study the new town of Stevenage.
Maybe it's because I'm a Londoner that I love London town.
Now on to the redevelopment of London's docklands comes under attack in Geography Casebook, Britain.
Years ago, before there was a great city here,
This is Daytime on 2. Our geography casebook looks at the future of coal in Great Britain.
Now on BBC Two, we look at how Austin Rovers' new cars are facing up to the challenge from giant multinationals in Geography Casebook.
It's not quite so Jaguar.
I'll never be the same to me.
In this, Now on to the upland country of North Wales is the subject of Geography Casebook.
Britain's coastline in Geography Casebook.
This film is about a frontier.
Way of searching for another world. It's hard to see. Shortland Street.
He's given his life to his work. Would you help him solve what looks like his last case?
An ITV drama premiere. Inspector Morse, The Wench is Dead, tonight at 8.
Vinny's out to woo Justine again in Home and Away at 6 o'clock tonight.
You don't need one of these. You don't need it. What you need is to iron that lot. And you need to do the shopping. But you don't need an individual Sara Lee double chocolate gatto. You need to change that light bulb is what you need to do. And a bit more time, that's what you need. But you don't need 2 layers of Sara Lee's moist chocolate cake. Not need, you don't. Nobody needs Sara Lee.
In all things electrical, there's negative and positive. Negative. Positive. So for Christmas inspiration with no complication, come to Comet. We're positive we can help.
Hi, Rob. I just thought I'd remind you of what you're missing out on. What you could never resist.
Surrender to the heavenly honey nuttiness.
Kellogg's Crunchy Nut Cornflakes. You'll be back.
No matter who we are, we borrow money. Small amounts, large amounts, from different lenders at different interest rates. Until it becomes difficult to see what's really going on. Which is why the Woolwich have come up with Open Plan Borrowing, a new loan account with a mortgage built in. Just by calling this number, you can have a flexible mortgage which takes care of all your borrowing requirements at a variable rate of just 8.1% APR. Take control with open plan borrowing from the Woolwich. Call now on 0845 607 6607.
Stock up early for Christmas with Summerfield price check offers, like £5 off a 12-pack of Stella Artois.
It's for Santa.
So's this.
It's all about.
We met about 9 months ago. I went shopping and I came out and I got in the car and I bumped into him.
It's all about.
Are we in love? I'm not sure I want to answer that.
It's all about.
She's mad for it. Noisy.
No, I am not.
No, me.
It's all about them and it's all about you.
Well, a sperm test involves testing your sperm.
Did it find any?
Yeah, there was plenty, thank you.
Cold Feet, Sunday 9:30 ITV.
Early on Sunday, October 4th this year, 3 masked men, one of them armed, went to the Century Public House in Bedford. They knocked on the door of the publican's living accommodation. When he opened up, the gang tried to burst in, but he managed to push away a sawn-off shotgun and slammed the door. Seconds later, a shot was fired. The publican was lucky to escape serious injury. A white hatchback was seen in the car park of the pub at the time of the attack. Do you know this area of Bedford? Did you see anything which might help the police? If you can help with this inquiry or any others, please ring Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. You don't have to give your name and you could earn a Crime Stoppers Trust Award. So ring 0800 555 111 now.
Airwatch, sponsored by Anglian Home Improvements.
Most pollution measurements in the region today have been low, though some local pockets of moderate pollution may still develop for a time. Overnight and tomorrow, much stronger winds are expected to spread from the west with showery rain, and this will mean that pollution will be at low levels throughout the region during tomorrow.
Airwatch, sponsored by Anglian Home Improvements.
Join us for Anglia News at 6:25.
Tonight, a time to remember. As the nation fell silent, how Essex, Norfolk and Suffolk honoured fallen heroes on Armistice Day.
Also tonight, new moves to stop the East Anglian coastline crumbling into the sea.
And it's official, our region gets a raw deal when it comes to providing school transport.
More on all those stories in Anglia News at 6:25.
Parts of East Anglia and the southeast won't last all day. It will clear away here during the course of the morning. Things are brightening up to an extent, some sunshine, and the best of the sunshine always in southernmost areas, cloudy in the north with further spells of rain to come. It's going to feel fairly chilly, I think. Temperatures at best around 10 or 11, but those strong winds continuing through the Irish Sea.
Power, Jim. Power, whatever the weather.
The beautiful South, Quench.
With a big fat A, you want to see the smile of my...
It's their biggest album yet.
Different sizes.
Featuring the massive hit Perfect 10.
Especially the lies. Time takes its toll, but not on the eyes. Promise me this.
Quench, the new album from the beautiful South, out now.
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't even know they were brothers.
So it could be a bit tragic.
He's lovely. Is he the king?
You, the prepaid phone. No bills, no contracts. Use it, don't use it. It's your call.
Kellogg's Optima Fruit and Fibre now combines the finest ingredients with OptiB, a brilliant blend of all 8 B vitamins. Drugs Optima. Opti-B your best in the morning.
Join us for Anglia News at 6:25.
Tonight, a time to remember. As the nation fell silent, how Essex, Norfolk and Suffolk honoured fallen heroes on Armistice Day.
Also tonight, new moves to stop the East Anglian coastline crumbling into the sea.
And it's official, our region gets a raw deal when it comes to providing school transport.
More on all those stories in Anglia News at 6:25.
Why are all these stars together in one huge show? Here's a clue.
Happy birthday, Prince Charles!
Happy birthday.
Your royal gorgeousness.
A royal celebration. A gala. Are you mad? Join the royal party Saturday 7:45 ITV.
At 8 o'clock tonight, John Thor returns in a brand new feature-length episode of Inspector Morse. But now we've home and away.
You know we belong together.
First Take brings you the best work of the region's new filmmakers. Short films, big on style.
Next dance, please. Thank you.
Beginning with the seedy underworld of tea dances. A new series, First Take, Thursday at 11:15.
Dear Dad, we've only been here a few days, but already Jack's been off exploring. We've introduced ourselves to the neighbours, and already he's been invited for a drink down at the local. But what really makes him feel at home is meal times, because that means Caesar, all those fine cuts in mouth-watering jelly. It makes his day. Mustache, or we'll miss the post. Love, Sally. And Jack.
We've the best chart hits in the world ever, with the #1s from Robbie Williams and Spice Girls. The biggest stars. The biggest chart hits of the year, with the #1 from Billy. It can only be the best chart hits in the world ever.
Why are all these stars together in one huge show? Here's a clue.
Happy birthday, Prince Charles!
Happy birthday.
Your royal gorgeousness.
A royal celebration. A gala. Are you mad? Join the royal party Saturday 7:45 ITV.
Now, just before the news, our Anglia weather.
Hello, good evening. It's been a fine and bright day across the region, but you don't get many of them at this time of year, and certainly the weather is already beginning to change. Rain spreading from the west to the majority of the region overnight, and then it'll be with us tomorrow morning, brightening up for the afternoon, and then a wet and windy spell likely for Friday the 13th. If we look at this morning's satellite picture though, you can see we had a lot of sunshine then, hardly any cloud around at all. The cloud at that time was just beginning to work its way across the Irish Sea. Now if we move the chart on to 4 o'clock, you can see how already that cloud mass has grown and is pushing much, much closer towards us, and that is what's bringing the rain. So looking at the chart, we've got the frontal systems pushing across Ireland now. Quite a deep low there. It's going to bring some very windy weather, I think, to the northwestern corner of the country, but down here in the southeast, not too bad, though obviously it will become quite windy for a time. So the forecast chart for tomorrow shows the frontal system still close to the east coast. We must expect a wet start on this eastern side, then brightening up from the west with sunny periods and the odd shower. The main strength of the winds are set up there to the north of us. Then moving on to Friday, another low is pushing in from the southwest. This one may actually become deeper than I've drawn it here, so some really quite wet and windy weather is spreading across all parts for Friday. Now if we come back to this evening, it's dry for most of us at the moment, but before too long the rain will start to push into the more western counties, those staying dry in the east. Then later on the night, that rain will get right across to the east coast and 1 or 2 heavy bursts mixed in. But it will be a milder night than last night when there was a frost in many places. The lowest tonight will be around about 5 Celsius, 41 Fahrenheit, and quite a strong southerly wind setting in. So for Norfolk, Suffolk, Essex and probably as well parts of Cambridgeshire and Hertfordshire, rain in the morning but already drying up in the west, and that dry weather will get to all parts by lunchtime, but even then there could just be the odd blustery shower running in on these fairly brisk westerly winds, and it will feel a bit on the chilly side tomorrow, though again the temperature's close to normal, 10 degrees Celsius there is 50 Fahrenheit. So it's rain clearing to leave a few showers for tomorrow. Then on Friday, that wet and windy weather pushing in from the southwest, as I've mentioned. That'll be with us to start off with Saturday, but gradually clearing up. And then I think mainly dry Sunday and probably mainly dry Monday as well. There could be the odd shower, but you can see with these winds getting into an east or northeasterly corner, it will be chilly, 70s, just 45. So to summarise it all for you, it's rain at times, but at least turning a bit drier and colder later.
Anglia and Sun Life, helping you plan for tomorrow.
Anglia News, this evening with Kevin Piper and Claire Weller.
Tonight, the region remembers. East Anglia falls silent on a day to honour the heroes of war.
A time for old soldiers to remember and for younger generations to pay their respects.
Also this evening, it's official. East Anglia gets a bad deal when it comes to school transport. Hello from Claire and me. Welcome to Wednesday's Anglia News.
Headlines.
And the Queen has been in Europe this Armistice Day, the 80th anniversary of the end of the Great War. At the 11th hour, she was paying tribute to the war dead in Paris. She then went on to ceremonies in Belgium. The Royal British Legion estimated that 3/4 of the population marked the 2 minutes silence here. Public transport ground to a halt and people stood still in the streets. President Clinton gave the clearest sign yet that airstrikes on Iraq could be imminent. He said America must be prepared to act if UN arms inspectors weren't allowed to do their job. And in sport, Tim Henman has almost certainly qualified for the world's richest tournament in Hanover, the ATP. He won his crucial match today in Stockholm. Greg Ruzetsky is likely to join him.
And the weather, although it's been a dry day with a good deal of sunshine, temperatures have been slow to rise after the chilly start. The maximum in Diss this afternoon was just 10 degrees Celsius. Although dry at first, cloud and rain and a strengthening southerly wind will spread to all parts overnight. Tomorrow, rain at first will give way to drier and brighter conditions by the afternoon with a few showers, and the outlook for Friday, more wet and windy weather soon spreading across the region.
And that's just about it from us tonight. We will leave you this evening with more images of how our region remembered the fallen heroes of war. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Mandy Dingle prepares for her ultimate sacrifice next in Emmerdale.
"24 hours a day, every day of the year, we replace windscreens on the spot. Phone Auto Windscreens direct on 0800 919 700.
With 1,200 offers every week, it's value to shout about.
Not all training leads to a recognised qualification. Here's some that do.
For the career you want, Target Modern Apprenticeships offer you a full-time job, high-quality training and nationally recognised qualifications. Call free on 0800 132 160 for an information pack on Target.
A drama in 6 parts, with some familiar faces as the main players. Their battles fought out under your skin. The storylines are fantastical, but you can believe it all. Body Story starts Thursday at 9 on 4.
He dropped him in it.
You should have stuck at cleaner house husband.
They're still brothers, but they're definitely not friends. Grafters, Tuesday at 9 on ITV.
It's all about. Yeah, we were trying for once. It was alright though, wasn't it?
A lot of practice.
Yeah.
Bit bored now, but...
Straight. Love it.
Cold Feet, Sunday 9:30 ITV.
Looking ahead to programmes later tonight, and at 7:30 we've Coronation Street, and then at 8 o'clock we've a brand new feature-length edition of Inspector Morse, starring John Thor. But back to now and Selfish Dreams and Harsh Realities in Emmerdale.
Paddy?
In France and Belgium on the 80th anniversary of the armistice that ended the First World War, which she called 4 terrible years of fire and blood. Newsnight is on BBC Two at 10:30, but that's all from the 9 o'clock news tonight. Good night.
There's an opportunity to talk to the controller of Radio 4, James Boyle, live on BBC Online starting at 7:30 tomorrow night. The address is www.bbc.co.uk/Radio 4.
Good evening. Thousands of people across the region have observed a 2-minute silence to commemorate those who've died in war. School children placed tiny wooden crosses on war graves at a cemetery in Ipswich, while shoppers at the Lakeside complex in South Essex showed their respects. At Oakington Barracks in Cambridgeshire, soldiers of the Royal Anglian Regiment attended a drumhead service. The number of people out of work in the region has started to go up again. Some experts fear the recession in manufacturing may be spreading to the rest of the economy.
Looking for new work. One of 230 staff about to be made redundant by a print firm in Colchester and Ipswich. This former England karate champion knows many colleagues far worse off.
Yeah, half the blokes all got families, you know, they're at school. I know some have just changed their mortgages as well, so that's going to hit them when they go and try and get unemployment benefit.
The unemployment rate is still well below the national average, but even service companies are starting to feel the pinch. Ho-Seasons Holidays of Lowestoft is one of Britain's largest holiday companies. This year it's seen a marked drop in bookings.
We started the year with good advance reservations, so we were quite hopeful after a successful 97 that we'd have a good booking season in 98, but it didn't prove to be the case.
Manufacturing is clearly bearing the brunt of the mayhem that's taking place and is having to cut significant costs. Services have not been as badly hit yet, but the cost pressures will build up, and I'd expect to see some turmoil there.
But job seekers like Sean Doyland are still hoping a full-blown recession can be avoided.
Boatyards on the Norfolk Broads are counting the cost after a flood which hit the River Yare with no warning. Water levels reached their highest point for 5 years, but the Environment Agency says there was no cause for alarm.
Brundle Marina, one of the main hubs of the Broads boat hire business, experienced water levels only a few inches below the floods of 1993.
The thing about this particular tide, this particular flood, is that it has occurred at a time when nobody expected it.
The problem was caused yesterday afternoon by winds from the North Sea pushing water up the River Yare. This meant fresh water couldn't make its way downstream, building up around Brundall and flooding the marina area. The boat industry believes the only way to truly protect Broadland from flooding is to build a barrier at Great Yarmouth. This has been rejected in favour of raising riverbank heights. But John Brown feels businesses like his are more than ever at the mercy of the winds and the tides.
As Prince Charles looks forward to his 50th birthday on Saturday, his birthday cake has been baked in Norfolk. Made by a baker in Hunstanton, the ingredients include 8 kilograms of currants and sultanas. The 30-inch cake is actually destined for Sandringham's autumn fair. Just enough room for the candles. That's all for tonight, but don't forget your BBC local radio station has news on the hour until midnight. From us all at Look East, good night.
Good evening to you. After a quiet day of reflection, the weather's been very quiet as well, but it's all changed, and through tonight and through tomorrow we return to our wet and windy theme. Already the rain's been marching in from the west. There have been some heavier bursts as well, and watch out for some local flooding, especially down towards the West Country where the rain has been quite heavy. The weather front giving that rain will move. It's tied in with this area of low pressure showing under the clear skies just under here. That low doesn't move very much. The weather front does though, and that moves across towards the east coast during the course of the night. Notice just ahead of that some quite tightly packed isobars, so there are going to be some quite strong southerly winds once that rain starts to arrive. All moving away to the North Sea for tomorrow. Tucked into this, underneath this area of low pressure, notice all those isobars tightly packed. That's probably where the strongest winds are likely to be. Already the rain's been heavy. It's moving through the Irish Sea now with some quite blustery winds with that as well. Some heavier bursts into the West Country, moving into Wiltshire, up to Gloucestershire and across towards Hampshire and Sussex during the course of the night. And also some rain moving in towards Wales, the northwest of England and the southwest of Scotland. And combined with those strong winds, there could be some rather nasty driving conditions. Now by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning we're looking at probably the strongest gusts across the Irish Sea tucked around that area of low pressure, and we could have gusts up at around 75 miles an hour for the southwest of Scotland, for Northern Ireland, Wales and Northern England. Something to watch out for as we move into tomorrow. Temperatures tonight, no real problems, 5 or 6 the lowest for many areas, perhaps an early frost in the glens of Scotland, but warming up once that rain gets through and the wind starts to freshen as well. And that's where the system will lie around lunchtime tomorrow. As I've mentioned, just in here is where the strongest winds are likely to be. So that main weather system moves out the way, generally very windy over much of the British Isles, and the wraparound of cloud keeping things rather cloudy for Scotland, Northern Ireland, the northwest of England. Here things not being helped by those strong winds. Probably the best of the sunshine in the south here, and here the best temperatures of 11 or 12, with more rain to arrive on the next system coming in from the southwest by Friday.
Now, here's an update on tonight's National Lottery draw. The 6 winning numbers are confirmed as 5, 11, 19, 25, 29 and 49, and the bonus number is 12. Early indications show there are 4 jackpot winners, each winning just over £850,000.
Music put her on the stage.
People acknowledged that she was talented, but quite how to harness that talent was a problem.
But comedy made her a star.
She wants to do that Jane Fonda. That what? That exercise thing, mnemobics.
From the early days...
Doing her play, it was just the funniest thing. It was just incredibly funny.
To her new sitcom, Dinner Ladies.
She's a bit of an icon. I went with an icon.
Victoria Wood in The Best of British, in half an hour, on BBC One.
They say that dreams can come true. First on BBC One, Margaret can always live in hope.
They say I might as well face the truth, but I am just too long in the tooth. So I'm an OAP and weak need, but I'm not yet quite gone to sea. I may be over the hill now that I have retired, fading away, but I'm not yet expired. Clapped out, run down, too old to save, 1 foot in the grave.
As I say, Mrs. Meldrew swore.
Terrain here, now. Kitchen sink dramas I can do without.
ITV drama premieres with Midland Bank, investing in great British drama.
Hello, join us a little later for another night of drama in the Worthington Cup. All the big guns chasing a place in the quarter-finals with the pick of the action featuring Manchester United, Arsenal and Chelsea, among others. And there's news of the draw. Who next for Luton Town? Find out at 11:10.
With a set-top box and an aerial, you won't need a dish to receive ITV2, the usual channels, and more. Free! You'll be able to take advantage of digital qualities such as
Clearer reception.
And if you've got a widescreen TV set, you'll get CD quality sound as well as the big picture.
It's only digital.
Only digital? Have you got it yet?
Dish Free Digital. The simplest way to get digital is through your aerial.
Through a life of wonder, a journey. On a voyage of truth, a test. In the shadows of boyhood, a man.
If you have your heart set on dying, I will oblige. Stand still!
A new adventure.
Pull out that fire!
An old enemy.
It's the Black Death.
Dennis Lawson, Robert Lindsay, Johan Griffith. Hornblower, next Wednesday at 8.
Why is this now the best-selling cream in the UK? Because as Vogue says, it will give you spectacular effects in 10 days. Or Ulay will give you your money back. And the name? Oil of Ulay's Daily Renewal Cream, the oil of UK. We can prove you can look younger.
Bring me sunshine in your smile. Bring me laughter all the while. In this world where we live, there should
every working hour, BT clean 3,000 phone boxes. Maybe it's the little things we do that means thousands of people come back to BT every week.
Negative. Positive. So for Christmas inspiration with no complication, come to Comet. We're positive we can help.
The most tranquil classical album in the world ever. The most soothing classical album in the world. Undoubtedly, the most relaxing classical album in the world ever. Volume 2.
The Star and the Wise Man, the very best of Ladysmith Black Mambazo, from Andy's Records. Including the heartwarming music from the Heinz TV commercials. Plus, Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes, recorded with Paul Simon. The very best of Ladysmith Black Mambazo is out now at Andy's Records, where music matters.
Anglia News is coming up in half an hour. As the nation fell silent, how the region honoured fallen heroes on Armistice Day. Join us for that and the rest of the news after news at 10.
From ITN, News at 10 with Trevor McDonald.
Final build-up tonight for attack on Saddam. In pride and sorrow, the Queen remembers the war dead. Grim search for the hurricane's missing victims. How lasers bring new help for childless couples. And Soweto fans finally welcome their West Indian heroes. Good evening. The United States began pouring extra troops and firepower into the Gulf today in a clear warning to Iraq that an attack could be imminent. 120...
Good evening. Well, not for the first time recently. There's some nasty weather out there. Strong winds and heavy rain. The rain reaching easternmost areas in the early hours, clearing up to an extent in the south and the west, but always the risk of further heavy showers. It's all associated with an active weather system looping up to a centre of low pressure just off the coast of Scotland. Now, the exact position of that is very important. It will have a bearing on where the strongest winds are. Overnight, I think they'll be rushing across Northern Ireland, gusting perhaps 60 or 70 miles an hour later on. And then tomorrow morning, getting across the Irish Sea into northwestern parts of England and North Wales, these areas at risk from severe gales. The northern half of the country, a lot of rain to come, some of that rain quite heavy and persistent. Further south, well, once the rain is cleared away from East Anglia in the southeast, it should improve, some sunshine, but again, always the risk of further showers to come. But the worst of the weather, I think, further north, further heavy rain, and still that strong to gale force wind through central parts. Temperature-wise, it's going to feel cold, I think, in that wind. Around about 9 or 10 in the north, 10 is 50. Perhaps we'll reach 11 in some southernmost counties of England. That's it. Here's the summary.
Power Gen. Power, whatever the weather.
Worst happens, don't worry. Phone Auto Windscreens Direct. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Phone Auto Windscreens Direct and we'll replace damaged windows on the spot. So get straight to the point. Phone Auto Windscreens Direct on 0800 919 700.
Lionel Richie. Truly, all his greatest love songs on one album.
I know you are my destiny.
19 classic tracks about emotion, romance,
Is it me you're looking for?
and love. Lionel Richie, truly the love songs. Out now on CD and cassette.
With over 9,000 gift ideas at great value prices, Argos makes Christmas easy. Apparently, some find it too easy. Argos, Christmas shopping made easy.
How much a minute? For prepay mobile phone calls from 5p a minute, the word is Vodafone. Pay as you talk.
All I want is a room somewhere far away from the cold night air, with one enormous chair. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely?
Shepherd's pie and Heinz baked beans, specially combined in one delicious meal.
Warm face, warm hands, warm feet.
Wouldn't it be lovely?
Be lovely.
At Currys, because our customers come in all shapes and sizes, we've put together a hi-fi range to match. In fact, it's now the biggest choice of hi-fi in Britain. You can listen before you buy, and we promise if you find a cheaper price, we'll match it on the spot. Currys, the choice for you.
Curry's the choice for you.
Airwatch, sponsored by Anglian Home Improvements.
Most pollution measurements in the region today have been low, though some local pockets of moderate pollution may still develop for a time. Overnight and tomorrow, much stronger winds are expected to spread from the west with showery rain, and this will mean that pollution will be at low levels throughout the region during tomorrow.
Airwatch, sponsored by Anglian Home Improvements.
Now our latest Anglia news.
Good evening. 80 years ago, the guns in France fell silent. At kick-off, that's at 11:10 tonight. From the news team, though, good night.
Anglia and Sun Life, helping you plan for tomorrow.
Although dry at first, cloud and rain and a strengthening southerly wind will spread to all parts overnight. Tomorrow, rain at first will give way to drier and brighter conditions by afternoon with a few showers. And the outlook for Friday, more wet and windy weather soon spreading across the region.
Check out the weirder side of British TV with Clive James next.
You Darren?
Yeah?
Yeah, well, Karen says you're dumped.
Thanks.
Sad day. Tell someone about it.
Yeah, mate, I had to dump her. You know what I'm like, Mr. Smooth.
BT, it's good to talk.
Why is this now the best-selling cream in the UK? Because as Vogue says, it will give you spectacular effects in 10 days. Or Ulay will give you your money back. And the name? Oil of Ulay's Daily Renewal Cream, the oil of UK. We can prove you can look younger.
Rule 95. During practice and the race, the driver may use only the track. Rule 5.1. Spraying of water or any substance whatsoever is forbidden. Rule 76B. The scrutineers may require the car to be dismantled by the competitor. Formula 1 98 rules. Official.
The cat. Perfectly adapted to hunt for fresher food. The owner, perfectly adapted to open it. New Whiskers singles, foil packed for freshness.
A change of life.
I feel a little bit nervous this morning.